Hello everyone, this is Dr. Taskin and I welcome you all on Homeopathy Music. Today we have with us Dr. Kushala and she'll be presenting a case on Sacrum Album, which is a remedy for modern day addictions and enslavement. Let's have a look about our speaker. Dr. Kushala Salian is a MD in homeopathy repertory. She's been practicing homeopathy since the last 35 years in Andheri, Mumbai. She has an open-minded outlook and has learned a lot from various schools of homeopathy and has applied it in her practice. With a team of 4 colleagues, Dr. Kushala regularly posts some of her cases on her YouTube channel, that is Integrated Homeopathy. Has shared her learning experience with homeopathy musing through various musings webinar. I welcome you, ma'am, on our platform, and I'm glad that you're taking the session with us. Before we move on, I just want you to say a few words uh, and share your experience on homeopathy musing, if you can. So,
Yeah. So, hello, friends. In the first in the first place, I must thank Homeopathic Musings to give me this opportunity and the platform to share my cases. I have done it before also. And last year, I was associated in their module of in-depth plants, which was a very enlightening experience to learn the entire plant module with them. It was taken in depth, and I'm very grateful for that. Musing has always been something which has attracted me because of the various speakers, the amount of study material that is given by them, and the amount of hard work that they do to present to all of us. So thank you once again, Musings. So let me share my cases, I would say. And since the remedy is known and there are cases, I would like that after each case, few of you try to analyze it and see as to why this case needed this remedy. So let's do a study this way. It's not a study where a case is given and you have to find out which remedy. You have a case, you have a remedy, and you have to fill in the blank as to why possibly this case required Sacrum Album. So let's keep our study in this manner. Okay. So I'll share my screen. So this is my first case. So this lady, she's around 47. She came to me in 2020 during COVID time. So it was a lot of online concentrations which was going on. Her husband is working, daughter was studying abroad. And she said that she has a very low immunity issues, so frequent respiratory issues, frequent UTI, and she used to go on popping up allopathic medicine. At a drop of a hat, she would take this and that medicine, antibiotics, and she came to me in quite a bad shape. So in 21, she said that in these past 6 months, not a week goes where I don't suffer from UTI. And I get this burning with frequent urination. And this frequent urging is during and after. Urine is very scanty and very painful. And now antibiotics are taking a toll on my health. And she was very anxious. This was a Zoom consultation because of COVID. And she was so anxious. She said, I lost my parents to cancer. My father passed away 11 years ago, and my mother 2 years ago. I took care of my parents because my brother is working abroad. And I overthink situations. I worry a lot about my health after seeing my parents die of this disease. And I worry about things even which don't exist. Like small things will happen and I'm scared of falling ill. It's just difficult for me to let go. Cancer is not an easy disease. I kept everything within me. I had to be strong for them. Life is not fair. Emotionally, it took a toll on me to see both of them suffer. I too was suffering, and I was balancing my work life. Fortunately, my office staff was very supportive, but now I have the fear. What is going to happen to me? Anything can happen to anyone, anytime. I want to be in good health. When anyone falls sick in the house, I get so hyper. I've seen so much sickness and I get really worried about it. I don't want to go through it. I'm done. Initially, I was very headstrong. I could handle situations, but now I'm just tired with all this sickness. I fear death and I fear suffering. I lost my father when he was only 59 years old. He could have lived longer. I don't think so much about material things. I'm cool. In the house, I'm the decision maker. Like she's like the man of the house. I'm overprotective. I want to be there for my family. I want to change situations. But some situations cannot happen what you want it to be. I suffer from IBS. I suffer from hyperacidity. I have lactose intolerance and I have digestive issues. Earlier, my nature was happy go lucky. Now I don't enjoy things. I need to appreciate. I feel let down in life. My husband and daughter, they want to see me happy. They are supportive. And my daughter is a good daughter. She's good in academics. She's like a friend. She comes to me. I have a good relation with her. My husband is also very calm and composed. He says, why do you worry? What more do you want? I mean, they have achieved whatever a couple has to achieve over the years. They have a beautiful house, they have a nice family, everything is there. They have all the material things that they would want for. But I don't see the bright side of life. I feel defeated. I get up in the morning, I'm anxious. I don't know what's going to happen. Everything is revolving around my health. My mind affects my stomach. I'm careful with diet. I see on TV dengue cases increasing. It affects me. I don't want to go through it again. Earlier, I was a short tempered person. With time and age, I have mellowed down. I will call a spade if I see something unfair in front of me. I have to give my opinion on it. I'm a good listener. People come to me for advice. At home, our roles are changed. My husband is a good cook, and I'm a problem solver and a decision taker. They have seen me so strong, can't see me weak now. I'm letting down my family. I can't see my daughter suffer. She was so close to my parents. It was painful for me. I showed my strong side. I cried in the night. Lot of pain they are suffering. I was also suffering. Fear of losing loved ones. What if anything happens to me? What will my daughter do? Mentally, emotionally, I'm drained out. I can't give support. I stopped being happy, full of negative thoughts. Brother was not there for my parents. There's a lot of resentment then, unfair. Why me? Parents have done so much for us. You should also take your responsibility. My husband was like a son for my parents. During those times, I used to have fights with my brother, but now they are resolved. I think of my daughter's future. I want to help her in whatever way she wants to be. I'm fear of losing everything I have. What if something happens to husband me? What if I die? Scared of disease. I crave for sugar, pastry, biscuits. I get irritable if I don't have sugar. It is something which I enjoy. I'm not at all happy after my parents' death. It took a toll on me. I took antidepressants. Now my daughter has gone abroad for studies. What is life? I need something that makes me happy. I'm thinking of moving houses. I'm feeling loneliness. I have few friends. First, my full life revolved around my daughter. Now she's independent. What should I do with my life? Husband is an introvert. He does not speak much. He cannot emote. When I lost 10 kgs after my mother died, it was my mother-in-law who noticed that I have lost weight. I was clinically depressed. My husband did not understand. I'm a strong person in family. I want somebody to take care of me. There's no communication from him. Husband is calm, he's kind, he's slow to anger, but lately he's unreasonable. Deep down, it's peace. I miss my parents a lot. My daughter wanted to study abroad. I funded my parents' treatment. Brother made excuses. Husband and me have a good job so we could support our family. Husband says, we got everything now. What makes you unhappy? But I want somebody to give me advice. All come to me for advice. It was not a good childhood. Father used to drink and fight and raise hands. Parents used to fight a lot. I help people as much as I can. I don't get in return. Maybe my expectation is too much. Self love is not coming. I stress easily. I can be temperamental. I can be mean. Husband will not retaliate. I don't like to be told I'm wrong. Husband shows his love by working in the kitchen. After parents' death, brother also went away. There was a huge void. I will gape at this wall. Nothing interests me. I'm not happy inside. I'm more reactive. With husband, he's chilled. I want to do things my way. I need to push my husband to do things. My dependency is a lot with him, but attraction has fizzled out. Since my parents separated in childhood, I used to stay with father. My brother was more with mother. I see my father paint. Brother was in boarding. I grew up fast. I used to not want to come home, for there were arguments, not happy. Things changed a lot after my mother came back. I saw my mother in pain, went through a lot. When father had cancer, he apologized. I took everything on myself. I grew up fast. Even as a child, I was short tempered. I used to scream and shout for everything. I was very close to father. It was the end of the world for me. Mother and me are at loggerheads. She gives me material things. After father passed away, me and mother extra close. We couldn't take it. I wanted family bonding. Fear of parents died of cancer. What will happen to me? There's an overwhelming fear of cancer. I'm not able to fill that void. My mother's constant support be in my house. My daughter is like my husband, chill. I'm overprotective of my husband and daughter. I'm thinking too much on things. I want to go to gym. I need to get out of my space, my house, my daughter's memories. I need a change of setting. I can't sit. I need to talk. I feel uneasy, restless. I need to focus. So this was the case. This was the first case. So if any of you would like to, share your understanding, you can open your mic and share. We have the case, we have the remedy. So if you, 2, 3 of you just share your understanding, then maybe we can go forward.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Who's speaking?
Yeah, I'm Shia.
Yes.
Ma'am, she's constantly only talking about her family and, her family issues. So everything is revolving around her immediate family. And she's getting too much affected, like she's very dependent on the family. There's a lot of desire for harmony. And there's a lot of dependency that I see, like, and then she talks about sugar cravings. She gets irritable, like if she doesn't have sugar and a lot of anxiety about health, desire for harmony. And she's too much in her comfort zone. Like she feels that she wants to get out, but then there's so much of that comfortness. So yeah, that's all I could.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good,
thank you, ma'am.
good, good, good. So family is her area of concern. Good.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Hi, Vandana. Talk.
Huh. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I felt that she's a very, very sensitive person.
Yes.
And she's a very, she live in a very small space, like only family.
Yes.
She, she's not ready to open up in the, to face the world broadly. She wants to be only concentrate on the family. That's why she's always in the two minds, like she wants harmony, and she is very short tempered also. She gets angry very easily, and once she says she's attached to father, then again she's also attached to the mother. Like every time she's in the dilemma of the relationships. So she's also possessed about the husband, daughter. She can't come out of the memories of daughter. Like she is involved in the conflicts life. In the childhood was also not a good. That also is a still she's feeling that pain at such a elder stage. Also, she feels the same pain what she used to feel at the in the childhood. This is what I felt.
True. True. True.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can feel the pain. Yes. True. True. Does anyone else want to share? Maybe one more person? Anyone else? Or should we go ahead? Taskin, should we go ahead?
There's something on the chat.
Yeah.
Dr. Nikita says family care, nutrition, love, family dynamic, sugar craving, sensitive, plant kingdom, me, my monocause, fourth subclass. That's what she says.
Good. Good, Nikita.
Shivani says victim feeling.
Okay. Why victim? Okay. Anything else did Dr. Shivani say besides victim?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am. You can do.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Okay. So what we, felt prominently throughout her case was that hers was a painful childhood. I mean, her pain has started from the childhood because she saw her parents fighting, father drinking, raising his hands. And later on in childhood itself, they were separated. She was with her father because she was close to father, and brother was with the mother. Later, the brother was sent to boarding. So the family togetherness and bonding itself was missing from the beginning. There was a void. You feel that there is a vacuum in her life. She was close to father and at loggerheads with her mother, brother in hostel, and she grew up fast. I mean, this made her grow up and take responsibilities. She saw her father's pain of separation. Later, when they came together, father apologized, but within no time, he suffered from cancer. And then her brother being abroad had no role in helping in the treatment. So it was she who was all the time taking the father to the hospital and getting the chemo done and looking after him. And her husband is very supportive, is a very calm, cool person and very supportive and loving towards her. So she, with the help of her supportive husband, and they both are earning well, so they could manage the entire treatment. The chemo and the cancer took a toll on her health and work. He and she both were suffering. Even the father was suffering, and even she was suffering. After he died, within 3-4 years, the mother started. She got into the suffering of cancer. And again, the same process of chemo and the suffering started. So she felt life was very unfair. And brother sitting abroad was all the time, making excuses to come and give a helping hand, nor was he financially supporting her. Though he had full capacity, but he all the time made excuses. So she funded as well as looked after them, and which she felt was very unfair. And their death took a toll on her. She became very depressed, and nothing in life interests her. her parents' death, her husband abroad. Husband is supportive, but he's like a typical lady of the house. He prefers to cook and look after the house. So he's not, and plus he's not very communicative. I mean, he loves her, but he doesn't have that where he can, share her emotional needs, or he can share about, I mean, there's no emotional sharing, which was not available from his side. Okay, and she's like more of a man type who will, solve problems of the house, take decisions from the home. And in a course of time, even the daughter left for her higher studies abroad. So this void kept increasing in her life. And she's looking for someone who will, so far people come to her for advice, but what she wants is that somebody should care for me, advise me. And this void, she had a very strong sweet craving. There's not a day when she cannot go without a pastry or some form of a sugary sweets. And if it is not there, she gets very irritable. Though she's trying her best to cut down her sugar, but this was something which was giving her the comfort. And she used to be very, very indulgent on this. She can't resist. She needs it. So there's sadness in her, which she's not able to fill up. Though actually, if you look at it from outer side, you find the husband so loving, daughter so loving, academically doing well. She wanted to send her abroad, and they have a nice house. Everything materially, they are very well off. But still, that void, that sadness in her, she's not able to fill up, which she tries to get into with all these comfort foods. So then when I repertorized, I have given her other remedies too. But then this was something which was coming very strong in her, this void, this need for someone to love her, to care for her, even though it was there in her life, but not the way she wanted. And this, morbid craving for sugar and pastries and chocolates and all, something which she needed almost 3 meals a day. So I took, since the entire thing started from childhood, where the parents, separated. So I took it as where divorce, separation, ailments from aggravate children in, love, disappointed, unhappy, ailments from aggravate. And you can definitely see there's a sadness chill during. Chill over here is the low phase of her life. We don't talk in the terms of literally fever chill. It's the low phase where everything is low. Sadness, depression from separation of family and friends. She's very attached to her family. She's very anxious for the health, her health and the health of loved ones. She desires someone to come and hold her hand, sit down with her, support her. She has this delusion that everything is going down. I mean, everything is sinking. She doesn't even want to get out of her house. She just sits and looks at the wall. The bed is sinking. Her comfort zone itself is sinking. She feels very deserted, forsaken, especially by her brother, who is not there for her in spite of, he is well settled. He has everything. And he's the only brother. He should be next to her, but he's not there. Holding and being held desire for. She wants somebody to hold her, advise her, talk to her, love her. She's irritable to her family. She's disinterested in life, in anything, loathing of life, loathing work. And the strong food, sugar, which ameliorates her, as well as she craves for sugar. So when we see repertorize all this, the remedy which covers it is Sacrum Album. Some other rubrics which can cover her state is she's very affectionate. She really, goes out of her way to help people. She says that my giving is so much. Maybe my self-love is missing. She gets into, temper tantrums. She wants that somebody carry desire to be somebody, advises her, sits with her. She's very clinging in the sense that she's just not ready to go. I mean, things have happened years and years ago, but she's just holding on to that situation. Company, desire for family, delusion deserted. She's dependent. forsaken, help people others wants to, holding being held ameliorates. She feels very restless. She needs that sugar rush comes in her where, when there is less sugar, then she gets into those restless, irritable moods. And you see all the food and drink, sugar desire, sugar ameliorates, sugar aggravates, sweets desires, dinner after, sweets desires, but which aggravates. So everything is covered by Sacrum Album. So I gave her 201 dose. Immediately, at least the first thing, good thing which happened is her frequency of falling ill reduced, her UTI is reduced, her respiratory complaints reduced. And now she's much more stable. She goes in a year once to meet her daughter abroad. They spend time together. Daughter also comes down. She's more settled. Now she's more going out. She's doing well work-wise. She's going out. She's joined some, dance form of exercise. So she comes in her, track her outfits to the clinic for her follow-ups. I mean, direct from her exercise. And she's looking at least happier, and she has found friends. They are going to dance for some friend's daughter's marriage. So they have formed a group where they'll be dancing in that marriage. So she's found ways and means to make herself happy. And she is happy than what she was. So this was my Sacrum Album first case. Any questions here? Otherwise, we'll proceed to the second case. Should we? Yes, shall I go?
Ma'am, you analyze the case as per the rubric.
I analyzed the case not as per the rubrics. I analyzed the case as per the understanding which we got from her. And then I put the rubrics.
No, like on the not on the PM
No,
method
no.
or mind method. That's why I just wanted to understand.
This case I analyzed as per the rubrics. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
As from the field, what I got was the void, the need for someone to emotionally fill up the void, and her, excessive getting into sweets and sugary stuff to fill up that, that void which is there inside her since years.
Yes.
So then retrospectively, we can, start looking from those angles also if you're talking about PM and all that. But this case, I have looked at it. My aim is to get the feel of Sacrum Album in this, in this webinar.
Yes, ma'am.
My
Yes, ma'am.
aim is not to go into PM in this webinar.
Yeah. No, I thought maybe through monocards or something.
Later on, if you look at it through monocot also, it's
It may
more
be in the
sad,
retro. It may come
Yeah.
in the retro.
Yes, in the retro, yes, you can look at it at that angle also, no? It's a nutrition line which is coming, okay? Poels is in the nutrition line in the column 4. And it's like, she has difficulties with the others, no? Relating to others. It's more of I. She does. But then it's more self-oriented, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so if you go to see in that way, also monocot will come. And Poels being more into the nutrition line of column 4, you'll find that nutrition nurturing family is something which is, prominent in this, isn't it? She wasn't nurtured, she is nurturing, right? And Poels being lower down in the column, there is an aspect of feminine and masculine coming. So you can see features of both in her. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I go to the next case or anybody?
Yes.
Ma'am, there's something on the chat. I'll just read it out for you.
Yeah.
Emma says, thank you so much for so much impressing. Just for my interest, can you let us know at which order a lack remedy or calcination shows up?
At which order?
Yeah. If Emma, you want to speak or you want to elaborate
Yeah.
about it?
Okay, sorry. Salah. The video didn't work up. Okay. Anyway, So the video, for some reason, does not work. Thank you. No, at which order in the repertory? So we just have seen the first 4, and I was just curious on if you have the next 5 or something just on top of your head. So because my first thought was a little bit with all this care and all the fear about others, also a little bit like carcinogen or lack remedy.
See, lack in the sense we are not talking about, you versus me in this case, or of competition or jealousy or, mammal type of nurturing where I am the victim and somebody is doing things to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, neither is it she a predator who's, aggressive and putting down people, or it's not somewhere lack will never. Here, it's a very clear case where you are having a void right from childhood, where in the childhood itself, there was a problem with nurturing and nourishment.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
now with nourishment, you have taken up the role to give nourishment, but your void continues. And then you find a strong craving for comfort food in the form of,
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Okay.
this in nutshell is where the case revolves around.
Yeah.
It's not that you have been, carcinosin will have some history of domination or some history of a heavy emotional suppression, perfectionism, So, I mean, this is not where this case is revolving around.
Okay. Thank you.
Shall we go?
Yes, ma'am, we can move ahead with the
Yeah,
case.
we go to case 2. Now, case 2 is of a child. Now, he is a 2-year-old child, and he has this frequent cold cough and enlarged adenoids. He was very restless. Even in the chambers, he was very restless. He's moving his leg, not sitting in one place, just jumping around. And he was clinging to his mother. Whatever he wants, he will ask till he gets it. And he gets his demand fulfilled by family members. Now, he is the only small child in the family. The others are all grown up. And the parents got this child almost after 8 years of marriage. So he is the pampered one. Everybody's life revolves around him. So he's getting full attention, full pampering, full quota of love. Okay, concentration problems. He does not stick to one thing for even 2 minutes. He does not play with toys, runs and jumps. He will scribble, he'll listen to stories, and he will not sit in one place. He'll just run. So you have to give him the phone. And he is, I think somebody is talking. Will you please mute?
Please mute yourself. I've done that.
Yeah, he's not a fussy eater. He also craves a lot for sweets. And he's very particular about his own things. Like he wants the things in their respective place, his toys and everything. In school or house, earlier he used to bite and push and beat. At age 2, they put him in a play group where he was the eldest in the class among those little kids. So, he used to get a lot of attention, but he used to dominate them. And he used to push and bite and beat them. So the nursery school teacher had to shift him to, with his age group. Initially, his habit continued, but later probably he himself also got some pasting because now he's with his age group. So he stopped. In home, all love sweets. We eat sweet dish after dinner. He prefers sweet fruits. When his 11-year-old cousin comes to meet them, he gets irritated and he'll not share his toys. Others' touch is okay. And he needs his mother's lap only during sleep time. And mother's also not ready to detach from him because she has, given birth to him after 8 years. So she's also all the time, clinging to him or wants him around. He catches bad habits of others soon, like spitting and pushing. He takes milk in a bottle on mother's lap. Even in the chambers, he During the first consulting, he went on her lap and she started feeding him milk from the bottle on her lap. He's continuously running, so he's drained out. He has no fear, even if we scare him. He's very attached to everyone, and if they go out, anywhere, then he will ask for them. If you're speaking on the phone, he will not sit long to talk. He wants to choose his own clothes. He's taller for his age. He likes to help in serving during dinner. We have started teaching him at home and give him stars whenever he, achieves something. So he likes that concept of getting stars when he performs. He's inquisitive about things. If he catches on something, he will go behind it. He likes to explore things, though we are more careful about him. He is the ladla, means a pampered one at home. In new places, he will stick to his mother. He needs to follow a process, like, my potty will be cleaned only by my mother. The eye kajal, which they put for the small children around the eyes, will be done only by my grandmother and no one else. I mean, he wants that. When tired, he will talk in sleep. So this is a small case, but yes, if any of you want to, give your understanding, please do. You want to share, anybody?
You can unmute yourself if you want, or put it in
It's
the
a
chat
small,
box.
it's a small case. First of all, he's a pampered one of the home. He gets full attention from everybody. He's restless. He's hyper.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Can we say he's a spoiled child?
You can say, because
Like he's a
he's
over pampered or spoiled or
yeah,
both?
because what has happened is he's come after 8 years of marriage when they were really trying for, a lot of treatment. After a lot of treatment, he came into their life. And in that entire family, they are staying with the grandparents and all. I mean, the other siblings of the father, their children are old in the sense they are around 12 and 15. And he's the baby of the house. So, like, everybody's attention is on him.
In spoiled children, there are 9 remedies like ammonium carb, baryta carb, chocolate, escalatinum, glyco, moscus, opium, sulfur, thuja. So I feel of chocolate.
Okay. Let's see the case in total. There are many aspects to the case, right?
Yeah, because he's a very particular about everything, no? He's like dictatorial also. He
Okay.
wants the things according to his like this should be done by mother, this should be done by grandmother. I want these things at this time. I want that thing. He's so particular about everything, no? That's why I thought spoiled child.
Yes. Fine. See, this is a
He's
very
also restless, also, no?
true, true.
Hyperactive.
They're very hyper,
Hmm.
very clingy,
Full
very,
of energy, full of energy.
yes, 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 concentration problems. He's very irritable, especially after he comes from back from school, no? He's very hyper. See, this is a small case and, just a lot of infos. I'll tell you how I analyzed. And if anyone else wants to say anything, shall I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
See, this case, I mean, if what you see very prominently is very hyperactive child. He's getting a lot of attention, but he needs constant attention. I mean, everybody should be giving him that attention. And you find him that he's very attached. Like if anyone goes out, he will ask where she's gone, when she's coming back. And you'll see a lot of clinging to the mother. He's impressionable in the sense he easily get into bad habits. He saw one taxi driver spitting, then for a couple of days he also started spitting. So he catches all these, bad habits of people. He's inquisitive. You can see his aggression in terms of biting, pushing, striking. He's all the time running. There's so much of energy, restless, moving from one place to other. And especially he has this sugar rush and this desire for sweets. So somewhere I felt that in Sacrum Album, that issue of sugar and sugar rush does come up in your case, which is seen that somewhere when the sugar, I had previously also presented a case of Sacrum Album long ago, in which that child also, I mean, the parent will literally tell you, they get into this sugar rush. They come back from school and they're so hyper, so irritable. And the child will say, give me something, give me something. What is that something? It's something sweet. And then they will calm down. And again, if they eat more of the sweet stuff, again, they get into that hyper mode. So it's an imbalance in the sugar metabolism which takes place. And they are constantly, I mean, the entire family loves you, gives you all the attention and all the love. And yet you are all the time seeking for more and more of that love and attention. I mean, it's like, in one of the provings, it is like, it's an endless pit. The more love you pour, it's like not even like pulsatilla, okay, I love you and you console and you calm down. No, it's an endless pit where the more you get, the more you want. So this is where this case revolved, for which I gave Sacrum Album. At least his respiratory issues settled down and he was more calmer. In that sense, his hyperactivity reduced. Any questions here?
No, ma'am.
Shall I go to case 3?
Yes.
So at least in these two cases, we saw one, there's a void, they have love in their life, but somewhere there is a deep feeling of not being loved. And all the time feeling, they want to be more and more loved and they want to fill up that void. And they get into this cravings for sweets, which is very prominent. You will see that restlessness, that irritability, that sense of, attention seeking, their attachment, family nurturing, nurture. I want to be nurtured. I want to nurture. That aspect is very strong in both the cases. Now let's go to case 3. This is again a lady. She's around 33. When she came to me, she was not married. Later on, in a short time, she got married. And she was an editor in a digital platform, and she used to come with recurrent sinusitis. And she says she complains that I get these black spots in front of my eyes. It's not even dizziness, it's not even giddiness, but suddenly she starts getting these black spots and she feels better with sugar. I asked her, what is your concern? She says that with these black spots, I don't want to fall. I hope it is nothing major. I hope it is due to less water and sugar. I'm short-tempered if there is too much chaos. I like my day to be productive. I don't like to sit on one thing for hours. I like dancing. I like music. I like to watch movie series. I'm claustrophobic. If there's too much crowd, I fear that when I get into the metro train that I should be able to get out, otherwise I'll be pulled in and I won't be able to breathe. There is so much of crowd inside. I cry easily. In her case, at very small emotional issues, you would find her that she wanted to cry and tears would come in her eyes. Tears just come when talking of my feelings. I'm imagining, picturizing the whole thing. I get overwhelmed. I love my niece. My parents and younger brother are here in Mumbai, but my elder sister, she's in US, and I have a niece of 7 years. And I have a lot of fun talking to her. She's a darling. She's a lot like me. She talks like me. She's funny. If I don't speak to her for a couple of weeks, I get restless. I'm not very close to my mother, yet I am close to, but I share with my father, but it's always functional sharing. I don't share at home my daily affairs of my work or friends. But with friends, I'm more comfortable to share with. A couple of friends, and again, there were tears in her eyes. I get emotional tears when talking about close people or feelings. I don't know why it happens. I cry easily and I also laugh easily. I'm short tempered. I'm observant. My instincts are always right, even if I haven't met the person in a long time. I can kind of guess what they would be thinking. I get irritated if they gossip. I can't talk for long. With friends, we talk about what is happening in our lives. I show interest in people whom I am interested in. It is the ways to know everyone's detail. I like coffee. I like to be by myself sitting at a cafe, reading, watching people. This particular cafe that I like has a theater. It has got a library and there are nice characters. People who come to eat. There is yellow lights in the cafe. In a corner, there is a bookstore. It's a very cozy feeling. I have gone to this place many times with friends also. And I have been there alone also. And then again, there were tears. It's a nice arty thing. There's a nice big banyan tree. And I like watching plays. Artists there play flute, music is on. There are some theater people coming who work in serials. I'm close to that place, one of the place to hang out. I have some connection with that place. I feel at home. There is good food. I love food, especially spicy food, chaat. Good food makes my day. It improves my mood. During my PMS, I crave sweets. I feel very emotional, especially touchy stories like Hachi Dog and the Owner. It has an emotional message. He's an abandoned dog. He finds his way to the piano teacher's house. The teacher's wife does not accept him. So every day he follows the teacher to the station and waits there for him till he comes back. And this continues all his life till his old age. And one day the owner does not return. And the dog just waits there at the station till he dies. This is a beautiful bond between the owner and the dog. I like this movie Tare Zameen Par. How these, it's especially differently able children, like it's a story about a dyslexic child, how they are treated unfairly. It shows how the journey of a special talent is brought out. There are so many children who don't have the means of a better life. I feel bad about the fact. So many orphans, old people, they're seen in the station, working hard, carrying heavy things, climbing railway stairs. Life can be easier, but is not. I'm an angry person. I'm short tempered. I'm a straightforward person. If there's an argument between two people and I'm close to the person, I will give my opinion of right and wrong without mincing words. When angry, I go quiet. At home, I'll throw things. I'll take big bites. I tend to get aggressive, argue, discuss, or just be cold and not talk. I'm angry with irrational stuff, trying to gaslight you, somebody being unreasonable. At times, I get violent. I'll pinch. I'll pull somebody's ears. I'll throw the glass. I'll bang something. She weeps, tears in eyes. After coming back from the holiday, husband is very close to his mother. I'm not close to my mother. I can't relate to his bond with his mother. During the trip, they had gone for a holiday together. We were together. It was going on in my mind. After coming back again, he will be close to his mother. Towards the end, I felt I will miss him around me more. It's not that he's not around. I want more time with him after we come back. I had that irritation. I was cold to his mother. I genuinely like his mother. I felt irritated with the idea that I'll not get the attention. We discussed, we need time together. I feel I don't have space decision making around that house. He says for everything, let's ask my mother. For even small things like to buy flowers or to buy a bed sheet for the house or where to keep that bed sheet or even for a child. I don't want him to ask her for everything. It will never be about me and him. It will always be about me and mother. There is no individuality. It's irritating. He is not letting me make my choice. He is not made changes in his life. It is 70% less than what changes I have made in my life after marriage. When irritated, I get so angry, I could have pinched somebody. I type to my friend, throw my clothes in the bucket. Appetite, she needs to eat very frequently, every 3-4 hours. Otherwise, she feels giddy and she feels better by eating. So if any of you would like to analyze. Just 2-3 of you.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, there's a craving for sugar. There's a eating emulation, very
Yeah.
sensitive. But
Yeah.
in this, the anger and violence is more compared to the other two cases.
True.
And she's possessive about her husband,
Yeah.
insecure, like how he can be so close to his mother
Yeah.
because she is not close to her mother.
True.
So this is a very different type of case, though it is a sacrum only, but I could not relate it.
Okay.
I felt of more of the pulsatilla type or somewhat of the ignatia because of jealousy.
Yes.
Like, so I could not relate with the sacrum because we know the remedy, but I
Yeah.
could not.
I gave her
Thank you.
lots and lots of pulsatilla for a very long time. And somehow
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
not relieving because the amount of crying that would happen, something
yeah.
was very striking to me.
Yeah, that anger is a very different type. Pulsatilla maybe had done some manipulation because she can't. But in this case, she's not manipulative type.
True.
That's what I thought.
True.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I'm Shia, right? Jealousy and attention.
Okay. She wants to come to any remedy.
Shia,
Ma'am,
you
I
want
think
to?
it's the same remedy, ma'am.
Pardon?
Sacrum album. It's the same remedy, I think.
Yeah. The remedy is the
It's
same,
like
but
there is a
yeah.
yes, ma'am. there is a void in her life because, like she says, she's not attached with the mother.
Hmm.
So possibly that void subconsciously she's projecting on her husband. So her expectation is that she gets all that love and all the attention from him. But so when he's showing that closeness to his own mother, she feels insecure over there. So I mean, it's a jealousy, but not an exact jealousy, but deep down inside there's maybe it's kind of like she's a demanding type, but not demanding directly, but she's demanding in through her irritations and other ways.
True. Sacrum has jealousy. Sacrum has jealousy when the newborn has taken their attention in between siblings, Sacrum has jealousy in it.
Can I ask you, ma'am?
Pardon?
Can you hear me? Can I
Yes.
ask a question?
Yes,
I
please.
just want to understand how to differentiate from insulinum, for example, chocolate.
Chocolate, it is all about connection and disconnect. The mother was there and then she turned her back and walked away. So chocolate is all about connection and disconnection. While this case is getting all the attention, getting all the love, but there is a deep sense of neglect. There's a deep sense of wanting attention in spite of getting the attention. And there's a deep sense of wanting to be loved.
And for example, needs to eat frequently, every 3-4 hours.
Yes.
If it was possible to give like intercurrently insulinum.
Insulinum.
Yeah.
See, Emma, no? Who spoke to me just now? Emma?
Me, Ina, yeah.
Ina. See, we have to have the entire case. We need to look in total, no?
Yeah.
It has to fulfill all the needs of the case. No, insulinum, yes, if you're talking about frequent eating, but if you look into the entire case as a total, then every box has to be fitted in. What is her basic need and what is it which is making her eat so frequently, or what is it which is making her want to have sweets, or what is it which is irritating her? I mean, she has a loving husband who gives him all the attention, but they're living in a family where his mother is there and he has his bond. I mean, his mother is not doing anything to take away the attention, but yet you feel so easily neglected. You feel that you want more of him, though you have him fully. I mean, he's the only one who's staying with his parents. So, I mean, there is no need for you to want so much in spite of you having it. So, from where does that come? Where does that need come?
Clear, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, this is where, we have to, I mean, even in the child's case or even in the first case, they are already in a loving setup. But there is a deep sense of neglect. There's a deep sense of void. There's a deep sense of wanting to fill up that void. Then they go into all the sugary stuff as comfort foods.
Ma'am, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say if you have somebody, like I know somebody who talks about having like they are very addicted to carbs. So every time they like I've heard them even saying that some carbs during the day, like it's like whatever they have in the during the meals, throughout the day, they want every time they want the carbs, and I've heard them saying also that I need little bit of carbs. So it's not an exact craving for sugar or something, but it's about carbs for them. So can we take it as a sugar craving in that case, or
Carb is sugar as long as it fulfills their life space. Why is
Yeah.
craving for carb? You know, in all these three cases,
I have asked them, so they say that I just feel so good when I have, like, if I don't feel carbs, have the carbs, I feel very restless.
now, see, carb ultimately gets turned to sugar. Now, you have to go into their life space. Now, like on Thursday, CME, Dr. Prachi, she did Orieza, no? Rice. So the rice was the comfort food. It filled into that family of poels and people came to Triticum and all that. But rice was the comfort food in her case, which gave her the nutrition and the comfort. So it's like if you are craving for carb, then from where does it come? What are you trying to fulfill in your life by this craving? So you will have to explore her life space. Carbs ultimately gets turned to sugar, but carbs, we can't take it as a reason to give sacrum. If it fulfills her need to be loved, if it fulfills her need to get the attention, if it fulfills her neglected feeling, then yes, then we can think. If it fulfills that irritation within her, you know, in this case is jealousy, as to my mother-in-law will take the attention, is taking more attention. And why is he asking her which bed sheet to buy or where to keep? I mean, it's somewhere immediately you start feeling neglect, though there's no reason for. Plus, pulsatilla is not helping her so much. She's crying. I've given her so much of pulsatilla for this attention and this tears, but just it did not help her. And then when this sugary thing came up and her need to eat frequently, she's better eating, better sugar, was where then I thought of Sacrum and I gave her and it helped her. Does anybody else want to share? Shall I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, my analysis was she's so sensitive and so emotionally vulnerable. About the cafe, she cries. About her niece being such a darling, she cries. About her friend, she cries. Everything that is close to her heart, and there are tears in her eyes. So, there are certain people and places which she's very attached to, moved easily to tears. In Sacrum, that attachment, that emotional thing is too much, overwhelmed by emotion. She needs a lot of attention from husband, though she's getting it fully. She feels easily neglected in the presence of mother-in-law, though that poor lady is doing nothing to make her feel neglected. And she knows it also. She has nothing against her too. But it is her state where she feels neglected. And there are anger issues. With unreasonable, they get aggressive and violent. You'll find a lot of anger, violent anger rubrics in Sacrum. She's foodie. She likes good food and good conversation. And she's very sensitive. You'll find Sacrum in a lot of rubrics like they want to help. They're very sympathetic, very compassionate people. She's very sensitive to orphans, to old people facing hardships, like they have to climb the railway bridge. It's so hard on them. She's seen some old beggars who are just carrying loads just to earn some, some old coolies who are carrying luggages just to earn some money. And any touchy stories like Hachi, the bond between the dog and the owner, Tare Zameen Par, how these, dyslexic children, how that child was treated in his school life. He was such a small child and people did not understand his dyslexic issue and how he was scolded and punished and sent away to boarding because he couldn't write. So all these things, these emotional stories, they really move her, they touch her, she cries. And these black spots in front of eyes, which is better by sugar, good food, sweets before menses, and she's this, she needs to eat frequently. So when I repertorized, anger violent was something which was very, very prominent in her. She's very attached. She needs a lot of attention. Though there's lots of love in her life, still she feels she's not loved. One is neglected delusion. She needs to eat frequently, which helps her. And excitement, excitable ailments from. And she's weeping. No, so this, I didn't get a rubric, even though I was looking for weeping from emotions, but this sort of rubric that every time some emotional issue came and it used to excite her, then that used to create this type of weeping in her. Forsaken feeling, she needs to help people, others wants to. There's jealousy. There's also a rubric jealousy, when the newborn takes the attention away. But I wanted to take it, but I said that, I wouldn't know how to explain that newborn thing. She's too sympathetic, compassionate, food and drinks, sweets ameliorate. So here again, I gave a Sacrum Album 200, her black spots reduced. She's much happier in her married life. She's settled. She's doing well for herself, career-wise. She's, she's more stable. She's happier. She's settled in terms of emotionally. Any questions here? Or let's explore. See, Sacrum over here is in the fourth column of the monocotyledon gramineals or poels. You all have any questions before we try to little study the sacrum? Should we little go ahead and study sacrum, or you all have any questions regarding the case? Hello?
Priyanka is asking, in the last case, sinusitis was better.
Pardon? Sinusitis was better, definitely. As I said, she settled down with all her physical issues. As well as emotionally also, she became more stable. Otherwise, I just couldn't understand why she has to cry so much.
Dr. Karishma asked, what was her chief complaint?
Her chief complaint was her cold respiratory issues, and she used to get these frequent black spots in front of her eyes. And then, she needed to have some sugar, which used to settle her down.
Yes, ma'am, you can go ahead.
So, Sacrum belongs to monocot, Poaceae, Gramineae, orders Poels. So from Yakir, what we learn about Sacrum is there is a strong affinity for digestive affections. I mean, it's a grass family, so there's a lot of digestive issues which you will see in most of the cases. They have either compulsive eating or bulimia, anorexia, obesity, or desire for sweets. And they are compensatory eating. If you see in both the cases of the ladies, it's a compensatory eating as if not receiving basic love. Children who gorge themselves with sweets and junk food. They have a capricious appetite. They are irritable when hungry, especially in the morning. The sugar metabolism is affected to a state of hypoglycemia. They must eat frequently. There's lack of confidence and fear of failure. Confidence, want of self-confidence, support desires from family and friends. They are self-absorbed. They feel they are not loved while others are, and that they are neglected, rejected. So you see it in adopted children. There's a strong forsaken feeling. They're constantly demanding proof that they are loved. So they are demanding gifts. This you'll see in children in materialistic way, gifts and sweets. They seek constant attention. Children who always need to be held might develop fears that something will happen to the parents, or being stolen from home, or staying alone. As adults, they may abandon themselves within relationship, become docile and submissive for fear of losing love. So somewhere the love is somewhere one of the main themes of Sacrum, that you have love in your life and yet you're craving for more and more love. Ailments from love disappointed. They can become restless, bored easily, hyperactive. They desire change. There's a desire to travel in adults. They have aversion to work, study, with attention problems. Now, what does Dr. Borick say? Fat, bloated, large-limbed children who are cross, peevish, whining, capricious, who want dainty things, tidbits, and refuse substantial food. So they want, small snacking. So from the provings of Dr. Tyner Smith, what are the expressions which come? There is a lack of self-love with the fear of abandonment by mother. In my first case, she said, I give to others, but I don't receive. Maybe there is lack of self-love in me. With fear of abandonment by mother, from fear not to deserve her love, especially in babies who did not get breastfeeding. There's not enough physical and emotional connect from parent to child. Lack of attention, busy parents or absent parents. Children get sweets as rewards instead of love. So in today's world where, it's the need of the hour, where both the parents have to work to, fulfill the daily expenses of running a home, sending the child to school. So it's like the parents are also at the end of the day tired. So to compensate for the feeling that, I cannot give time to the child, they will bring some sweet or they'll get in some gift or something like that. So this is where the whole process starts. There's a desperate search for love, attention, and affection. Delusion, his parents don't love him, and he is less loved than his siblings. So what are the different coping mechanisms for this lack of attention, affection, and love? So you'll see jealousy, like one of the doctors said, I think, Dr. Vandana, that jealousy. You see jealousy in these children as a mechanism of compensation. You see that they have a need to cuddle. Like my first case wanted someone to hold her hand, advise her, sit with her. They need to cuddle. My third case wanted to go to the coffee house and spend in that arty place, spend time. They desire to be caressed, desire to be touched, desire to be held. There is homesickness. They feel forsaken. They have carried desire to be, that somebody should be there who should carry them and be with them and, spend time with them and give them all the attention and love. They desire to sleep with the parents. Like even this child's case, he wanted to sleep with his mother. It's only the mother whom he will sleep with in the night. Loquacity, attention seeking. This is all ways of, making up for this lack of attention and love. Antics playing. So you have to know, why is this child behaving so funny and making everyone laugh? It's an attention seeking behavior. Fits of anger. There's disobedience. There's insolence and timidity. So when there's problems with disturbed sugar metabolism, you will find a very morbid craving for chocolates and sweets. They are irritable morning until breakfast. Irritable when hungry, better by eating. They have slow waking up and revival in the morning, because morning, your sugar goes low. So then you are a little slow, little muddled up, irritable. They have compulsive eating, bulimia. Sudden weakness, better by sweets. Ravenous appetite soon after eating. Constant appetite, never satisfied. You'll see a lot of aggressiveness from sweets. They hit and kick. Extremely restless, worse sweets, and they have difficult concentration. So this is, some of the understanding that I gathered about Sacrum Album. Does anyone want to discuss anything? I've given you 3 cases with whatever I could get.
Ma'am, there's a question by Aniket. How to differentiate this with from magnesium muriaticum?
Magnesium mute. Now magnesium, but then in magnesium from childhood you'll have. See, mad child is somebody who has been forsaken and who is mild and docile because he is an orphan. He can't voice it. He can't voice out his needs. Okay. While in this child, I mean, they are loud in asking for all the attention. You know, they will throw temper tantrums, they'll kick you and hit you and see that their attention is given. While Mag will, you know, keep quiet, he will go into repression, he'll be docile, he will be submissive, he'll comply, he'll be obliged to comply because he's an orphan, he can't ask what he wants. Yeah, have I answered?
Yes, ma'am. Aniket says thank you, ma'am.
Does anybody have any more questions? Or you all want to share any of your case where you all have given sacrum?
Ma'am, Priyanka asked, ma'am, please discuss about potency. Was it only 200 that was
Yeah, in
sufficient?
all the 3 cases, I have given 200 infrequent dose. With the child's case, I think in 2 doses itself, he was okay. He hardly came. With the first case, 200, I gave her. Then in a span of 1 or 2 months, I must have repeated almost 6 to 8 doses till now. But her, I have never stepped up to 1 m. All the 3 cases, 200 was something which settled. Even the third case, she's emotionally stable. Now, she was with me for around uh, close to 2 years, but now she's also stopped coming. She's doing well. I recently spoke to her. She said, I'm good, I'm happy. She's emotionally settled. So she also hardly needed, I think, totally 3 or 4 doses. The first case is still coming to me, but she's much, 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 much better. I'm hardly giving her, you know, I must have totally repeated around 6 to 7 doses or so for her.
Ma'am?
Since they're settling with 200, I didn't feel the need to step up, and their susceptibility is good. They are not getting into any respiratory issues or UTI issues or cold cough issues. And there was no need. Plus, their sensitivity is better. She's moving out and meeting her friends in the first case. The child is now not as aggressive in school. I mean, his hyper, this restlessness has stopped. He's doing his school activities. The third case, who's to cry at a drop of a hat, is more emotionally stable and settled in her married life. Then there was no need to step up.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Excuse Ma'am, suppose if it was an adult male needing Sacrum album, so how would the behavior be? Like, would he show some effeminate traits, or like how would it be, ma'am?
No, it's not necessary that he should show, as I said, Sacrum is in the Poel family and lower down the chart, no? It's lower down in the chart of monocot, no? So it's where the it's here, Graminians. So here the feminine as well as there is an introduction of the masculine. So it's nothing to do with feminine and effeminate. I don't think he will come like a lady. I mean, he'll behave like a lady. I don't think that will be his presentation. But then he will have issues of, issues of love, wanting to be loved, attention, neglect, something about nurturing, problems in nurturing, since it's a, nurturing line. There's a mother child. You see, in all the cases, 3 cases, there is something about the mother child bond. In the first case, she was initially not close to her mother. So, she was the nurturer. But later, when the mother came back into her life, she got close. So it's lack of nurturing and nurturing. And all the 3 cases uh, have to do with the mother-child bond. In the second case also, since the lady got the child after a very long time, he was closest to his mother, clinging to her, wanted to sleep on her lap. She had to do a lot of things. There's a lot of you will get this nurturing and mother-child bond issues, even in the third case. She was close yet not close. But everything has the theme of nurturing in it. All the 3 cases. You will definitely till now I've treated one more case of Sacrum Album, which I have presented before also. There is an issue of where you are like, we spoke about spoiled children, so then spoiled children will show other set of remedies. But it's like this particular person has enough of attention and love in his life, and yet there is a void.
Ma'am, though there's an issue with the mother, but there's no aversion toward mother, there's no irritation toward mother, there's no anger toward mother in
No,
all 3 stages.
no,
Though the relations are not like it should be, but still these are not their
no.
symptoms.
See now, in the first case, when her mother got cancer, though she was not close to her in the childhood, she said, I grew up fast. Then when the father got cancer, he died, and then the mother got cancer. That time she was an adult. She took up into nurturing her mother. No? She spent for her mother's treatment. She looked after her mother. And that void is coming because of the absent, parental
Yeah,
in the
yeah, that's
life.
what I said, na, that is different from the Magmoor, where
Yes,
in the Magmoor there's a feeling of absent mothers, like
yes, yes. And Magmoor is, there is an orphan feeling. Na? Here she's not feeling orphan.
right,
It's
right.
just that
No,
there is a
yeah,
void in her that, she wanted that nurturing. She wants that love. So that love is existent in all the 3 cases in a different way. Now, her husband, her daughter, everybody loves her and they love her a lot. But that void is only not getting filled up, because of which she goes into comfort food of sweets.
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
So
True,
you're
true.
not able to, you're not able somewhere, that love is not getting filled up. So even if in some of the proving, you'll say it's like an endless pit. You put more and more, and yet at least Pulsatilla, if you give her the love and you console her, she will be ameliorated for some time. But this is not so in Sacrum. That is why Pulsatilla never worked in my third case.
Yes, ma'am, very true.
Good evening, good afternoon, madam. Can I share 1 to 2 cases of
Yeah,
Sacrum album?
please.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm Dr. V. Padmaja Rao from Hyderabad. So I remember 2 cases now. So one is an acute case and the other one is a very chronic case. In the acute case, some 4 to 5 years back, I got a child of some 7 to 8 years old with chronic sinusitis and adenoids problem is there. So I have tried regular remedies like TMB and all the sinus remedies, and I have given him that Agrafis mother tincture, and I'm doing all those things. But it's only a temporary issues of temporary relief is there. Then one day I saw him eating sugar in my clinic. In my clinic, earlier they said that okay, he likes sweets more. Some only that, and I also did not inquire. I thought that okay, child is eating sweet like that, but he carried sugar from home in a box. He kept it with him, and he is eating spoon by spoon whenever he is wanting. Then I saw that, and I asked her mother. Ah, yeah, he does that always. Even for the school also we'll give a small box. Then why are you giving like that? Eating sugar is not madam, that sugar, if he takes sugar, that nose block will be relieved for a while and he will be able to breathe well. So this is something like a contradictory symptom. People will generally feel cold, aggravated by taking sugars. So I thought, and I that is the only symptom. I didn't have. I did not repertorized also. I have given Sacrum Album, 200 potency, 5 doses, 12th hourly. That's all. And sinusitis has come down. Basically his adenoids have been reduced in size, and within 3 months of period, and I have not given any medicine after that. Within 3 months, he is completely normal. Until date, now he is, I think, some 11 to 12 years age now. So he is completely well. No attack of sinusitis. And so I've been noting that one because that was a new drug for me. So I'm noting that Sacrum Album, okay, it has worked with him like that. The another case is of my compounder. So she is about a lady of about 60 years now, and she is a Brahmin and very, very choosy about her food. She never takes any food or water sip also outside her house, and she had a very religious person. But the thing is, she needs more and more from her mother, her brothers, even though they are loving to her, even though they are showing concern to her, more than enough. I saw that people are very, very towards her, all her family members. Whenever we'll give Saturday, Sunday half day, she will spend with them only. She would spend with all the family people, going to them, her homes and everything like that. And in that issue, she says only one thing, madam, whenever I feel something, whenever I feel some low, some high, some acidity or something, I'll take that sugar in water, heavy sugars in water, and I'll drink that and everything will settle down. She is telling these symptoms in so long. So what I thought is because she is a very poor eater, her sugars may be down. So that is why she is being relieved with that carbs intake. Like that, I'm thinking. But I have advised her not to take sugars that much. She is continuing with that one. Even now, she says that whenever I feel like this, a handful of sugar, I'll keep in my mouth, and that will settle everything. So one day I thought that okay, this could be the main symptom. So I have given her Sacrum Album 200, and that settled her skin issues. Her main presenting complaint is itching on the both the legs, heavy itching, and leaving white spots on the skin. That was an eczematic type of problem. So I have tried regular remedies also, but yeah, she is better, but not completely. So then after Sacrum Album, her itching never repeated again, never returned again. So I thought that okay, she could be also Sacrum Album. So I've been waiting on her. And recently in COVID, what happened? Her mother died in COVID. So her mother died at the age of 85 in COVID. So she has developed insomnia after that. Insomnia, hypertension. Never she had the issues of these insomnia and indigestion. Never she had any issues. So I thought of repeating 1 dose of Sacrum 200 only. So I have given 1 dose of Sacrum 200, and that settled her insomnia after 2 months. And I have not given any other medicine. And then after that, she had after 1 year after her mother's death, she had issues of hypertension. Then again, I have given 1 dose of Sacrum, and now she is not at all on any medication for hypertension, even allopathic or homeopathic. And recently, yesterday, last night, what happened? Her co-sister has been down very seriously on bed with an unprecedented attack of sugar diabetes. So she had this septicemia, and she's in her deathbed. So this caused her acidity or in a painful chest region, obstruction in the chest, something like that. Last night when we are closing the clinic by 10:30 or 11, she told that, Madam, I'm not able to breathe well. I'm feeling that something is there in here blocking me. Like that, she is showing her heart region. So I thought that, okay, you are taking more stress about your co-sister. She is sit calmly like that. And after going home also by 11:30 again, she called her in the midnight. So, and when I remembered about Sacrum, I asked her to take 1 dose of Sacrum Album, and she has that with her, and she has taken that one. In the morning, she again called me, Madam, everything settled down. Now I am good. I went to the hospital and I have seen her, and things are going well. Something like that, man. This is about 2 cases I'm noting down with Sacrum Album.
Very nice.
Thank you for listening.
Very, very, very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. If any of you also have your cases, you
Ma'am, I
can-
will share the case of my friend. This
sure.
is not my case. She shared her son's case with me. Her son is 3-year-old, and he was very cranky, and
I think your voice is gone, Dr. Vandana.
Dr. Vandana, you can try again. We can't hear you anything if you're speaking. I think she has some connection issue maybe.
The previous child case also, which I had, which I have already shared, maybe most of you must have seen. Even she was just a 2.5, 3-year-old child who used to go to the play school. And she was the only child in the family. There were grandparents, parents, plus, her uncle and aunt. So she was like apple of everyone's eyes. And everybody's attention would be there. But every time she used to throw such tantrums, she wanted things her way. She wanted to be, the parents to listen to her, the grandparents to listen. She kept the house at ransom. That much tantrum she would throw. And the mother would say, every time she would go to school, in school, she would be like, a tame cat. But at home, she would be like a wild cat. So much she used to create problems. Very restless, very hyper. And this sugar rush. That every time she came back from school, she would first, throw her bag, her shoes all over the house and say, now you first give me something. And that something was always sugar. So somewhere I feel in these sacrum cases that, that sugar either aggravates or it ameliorates. You have sugar, she's better, but that same sugar after some time creates a lot of hyperactivity and restlessness and irritability. So it's both ways. There's a disturbance in the sugar metabolism. Has Dr. Vandana come? If anyone else also wants to share, can share their experience.
I want to share.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. There was a child of 3.5 years. His father brought to the child to me and he had infantile eczema. All his cheeks were red. Since childhood he had this, and any drop of oil or any moisturizer, anything would aggravate to very violent kind of eczema. So they were very, very this concerned about it. And one peculiar thing was the child was still wanted breastfeeding. Very cranky child, always clingy to the mother, and even kicking the mother if she is not giving any attention to him. Anytime they have to go to the market, this child will definitely go. Why? Because he wanted some gift. Very self-centered, very selfish. He would not share his toys or anything with the cousins, but take away everything from them. So the child was very self-centered. Now, very peculiar thing they told me, that the child throws so much tantrum, so much ruckus in the shops, or when the child was brought to me, he was showing the same tantrums here too. He was kicking, he was shouting, he wanted all the attention. This is where I thought, why the child is so violent, so cranky, and he has to get attention. And not only attention, he is pacified only by gifts. We have to give nearly one toy every day. So I gave this Sacrum Album, and within very few days, first achievement was he stopped breastfeeding. So that was there, and he became a little through the years. The case was very long, and it took 3-4 years to get this child to from monocotyledon to some awareness of the surroundings. He became a little adjusted with other children, and obviously the skin was better. The case is still going on. That eczema is not there, but roughness of skin here and there is there.
True.
So that was the case.
Yes, thank you so much, Bindu. Yeah, they are, they are that, especially in children, you will see that self-centeredness, non-sharing. Like even in my child's case, is not ready to share. Even in Dr. Bindu's case, demanding gifts. You have to give me something. It's that something. And it's not like a mag child who will, not dare to ask. He'll be screaming and shouting and throwing tantrums to get his way.
Yeah, I think only Sacrum Album is there in that symptom, or some 1 or 2 remedies may be there. But throwing so much tantrums, kicking, hitting, making so much ruckus,
Yes.
so
Yes, yes.
that was the thing. And pacified only by gifts.
Yes.
That was the entry point.
True. They will demand. They will demand anger, temper tantrums. They will demand. They will not ask mildly at all. Like even in that other child's case, she would pull her uncle's hair if he even tried to, little tease her or play with her, and she was in one of those bad moods. It's like you're not a subdued child.
Yes, selfishness of monocots is really different from any other selfishness. It is too much, it is non-malicious.
Yes. It's a self-centered thing, because I mean somewhere like these children, even if they go for a party or go to some function or something, they are not really, because they want the attention. Now in a party with 10 children like them, they are not willing to share or enjoy themselves with other children. It's more about me
And I
and
think
myself.
it is different from attention seeking.
Hmm.
This is, I am the only one who exists in the world.
True.
It is not gaining attention of others. It is only me. How
Yes,
can anybody else exist in this world? I am the only one.
true.
So this attention seeking is different from invertebrates, the spiders. It is different.
Yes. This is self-centered.
Absolutely self-centered. I am the only one who exists.
Yes. So that is where the monocot, the monocot comes in the picture. The other is yet not there for them. Anybody else would like to share? I think it is a beautiful sharing, Dr. Bindu, Dr.
And it is
Padmaja.
a very different kind of simplicity also. It is not animalistic, very naive kind of me only.
Yes, more childlike.
More childlike, yeah.
True. Does anybody else who want to share? Please be free. These different presentations which come now because of that lack of attention, affection, and love, that is also something which you will have to catch from their behavior. That wanting that cuddle and touch and carried and antiques. You'll have to find out the why of it. Does anyone else has to share? Has Dr. Vandana come or she is not connected as yet?
Ma'am, I don't see her yet.
Does anything more in the chat or anyone else wants to share? Otherwise, we can wind off.
Anyone who want to share, we can wait for a minute or two.
Yeah,
If
please,
not,
please share. This is a sharing platform. We have to learn from each other.
Hello, Arshi here.
Yeah, she.
Yeah. So I would like to share a case of a boy who was brought by the mother, and he was a young, he was not even a small child. He was a grown-up one, meaning around 14, 16 years of age. And the mother says his behavior, like he's, very aggressive, like, how, like we've seen in your cases and what Dr. Bindu says, a different kind of aggression, which is unimaginable. Now, the story was this boy was adopted. So adopted by, I mean, he knew that he was an adopted child, and later on, and it was an unwilling adoption. The mother was by, like a joint family, forced because they had she had a daughter first, and the second she was forced to, get a child, but she was in a fix that, what if there's another daughter again? So they will not stop till they get a boy. So in a circumstances happened so that she had to adopt this boy from an orphanage. Now, and but they were very open and transparent, and he was told that you are adopted, but you're loved and all of that. Though they gave him a lot of attention, lot of this thing, she says, though he is given more thing, much more than what the original daughter of the house is given, his demands were never ending. So I've seen it, that. And when I spoke to the boy, he clearly said, my parents don't love him, though there was nothing that would, prove it otherwise. And what was his reason? It was he was a very, like, there is a certain degree of naivety here. So it was, he said, because they give the daughter more things. So this was not expected from a 16-year-old boy. That is not what we expect in terms of his equation of love and care and attention was that the daughter gives more things. See, that day I asked for a PlayStation, that day I asked for these things. They said, I will give it to you later, but their later never comes and stuff like that. And he was on this quest that now I have to find my original parents, though he came from an orphan, and he had no clue how he would go about it. And also there was no depth in what he was saying. So, and again, with all these things, and he, like, he wants any food, whatever you give him has to come with, he will have sugar on the side. Like some children, ghee, roti, and he needs some sugar with every meal. So maybe that got me thinking into, because other uh, I was looking into more aggressive remedies, or with the feeling of forsaken feelings and all of that. I was thinking of rheum, obstinate. You get torn in different directions, no? But when she mentioned that any food you give him, that he needs to have the sugar on the side, that was when I was alerted to this remedy. And the second was ailments from adoption. Then it kind of everything else exactly fit the case. And it he showed a remarkable change in his behavior and temperament, where the mother says his irritation, anger is considerably less. So earlier he would not even study, or was not serious about studies. Then he took a course somewhere, now he's studying abroad, but it showed a remarkable difference in him. So that's a little bit of this my experience I wanted to share.
You actually nice case. All of you have shared really beautiful cases. I mean, this is where we come to know in all the three cases as an aspect where you're loved and yet you feel unloved. You're not forsaken and yet there is a deep feeling of forsaken. And there is aggression. There is aggression, lot of aggression. And then the sugar. Beautiful cases. Does anyone else want to share? Please do. Any other questions?
Hello, ma'am. I missed the session
Yeah,
because of network
no
issue.
problem. Vandana, you share your case.
Yeah, I missed it.
No, but you had some case to share, right?
I had told na how much you are. I shared the full case na.
No, but
No, we could not hear you.
your net went away and we could not hear you. We could not hear
Okay.
your case. Unless
Okay.
you were
I
sharing.
thought I completed my case.
But
Then I realized
no
it.
audience now. You have to share with an audience.
Yes, yes. I was telling the case of my friend's son,
Uh,
and he's also homeopath. That
yeah.
child was very cranky. Every time was clinging to mother. Every time he wants more and more love from her mother.
Hmm.
So she used to give pulsatilla. He used to get better, but
Hmm.
this time he was not getting better. So after say about 3-4 times she gave pulsatilla, he was not better. But all of a sudden she found that now he is eating absolutely out of proportion. After completing lunch, within half an hour, he wants to eat one more food, and again two more paratha. Like 3-year child cannot eat so much. So she was very surprised of after looking how is eating so much. So then one of our other friend told her give him Sacrum Album. After giving Sacrum Album, her appetite has came under control, and her clinging crankiness reduced to a lot. This
Oh,
was I want to share.
wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
somewhere, everywhere the same theme runs, no?
yeah. But actually, he was continuous. Like she told me that he's continuous in my lap only, but still he wants mom. He can't. He's not ready. That she can't even go to the bathroom. Also, he was so cranky.
Clinging, no? Clinging is there.
Clinging and cranky. He was clinging also, but he was cranky also. That you're not going. Even with the father, he was so much attached to his father. But that time, whenever a mother goes somewhere in the kitchen or another room, he becomes very restless and clinging. He was crying like
Yes,
as if I'm losing my mother or something like that.
yes. So
Yeah,
sacrum is there and clinging, sacrum is there and attached very,
yeah,
and that type of weeping, no? That type of, you know,
yeah,
tantrums which they create.
yeah.
Right? I
Yes,
think all
yes.
our cases had some common, themes running. though the shades were different, but there was a commonality which ran in almost all our cases. Arshi's, Vandana, yours, Padmaja's, Bindu, all of you, we had something common, and the sugar craving. Thank you so much. It was so wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to share?
Thank you, Dr. Kushala. Thank you
Yeah.
all for sharing your cases.
Yes. Thank
It was a pleasure to listening from all of you to share their cases and got to learn a lot about Sacrum remedy. With we closing today, I just want you all just want to share a few of our courses coming up on
Should I
homeopathy
stop share?
musing. Yes, ma'am, if you can.
Yeah.
I will just share a few of our courses and we can wind up for today.
Yes.
So the year is going to end in few days and we'll be starting with 2025 with a lot of new courses, and I would really want to share some of that with you. So in 2025, we'll be starting with Dr. Ajit Kulkarni's session on integrating advanced psychological modules in homeopathy. He's going to take total 4 sessions and how to integrate the advanced psychological modules in homeopathy. You can have a look at the free session that he conducted and you will get an idea of what would you be expecting from the course. We have his free session on our YouTube channel. The early bird is going to end on the 14th of December. If you want to avail the offer, you can register for the course. Another interesting course that we'll be starting from next year is a full spectrum pediatric course where we have with an aim to combine all the aspects of pediatric practice. We aim on starting this course. This course will be divided into two parts. The first part would be taken by Dr. Gajanan Danipkar sir. Get to learn from sir with 3 sessions that he'll be taking from Feb onwards, from the 6th of Feb, and another part will be a full spectrum pediatric where we'll be having an MD allopathic doctor. We'll have Dr. Rajul Shah ma'am who will be talking about parenting, every aspect that we would like to cover that will be helpful for pediatric practice. So the registrations are open for this course as well. Another interesting course that's coming up is with Dr. Shekhar Argundi sir and how to get your patient talking. You will have total 4 sessions for this course and we'll start from 29th of Jan every Wednesday. So these are few of the courses I wanted to announce. If you want to contact us, the numbers are given below. You can write to homeopathymusings@gmail.com. We have put the link of all the courses in the chat box. Thank you, ma'am, for joining today, and I'm glad that we could do this session with you. Any one of you all who want to share something about musing can do so, and we'll be glad to receive your feedback. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much.